to my Hey It's Carly Rae's book club on YouTube. Today I'm super excited because I just got finished reading an amazing YA romance novel. And I absolutely love the title. It is why I bought the book. But before I tell you guys what book we're going to be talking about on my channel today, you guys need to hit that subscribe button and then hit the bell to be alerted of all the new videos on my channel. Now, I do have a special guest that I'm going to be bringing out, so without further ado, guess who that guest is that's going to be on my channel? Da-da-da-da! Prince is back! And he has a hoodie, and he is rocking a da-da-da AC/DC sweatshirt, and the reason he is rocking this sweatshirt is because the YA romance novel has music in it, and the favorite band in this book was the Beatles, but Prince likes AC/DC, so that's why he's wearing that. So, what book are we going to be talking about on Hey It's Carly Rae? It is, Prince, do the honors, da-da-da-da, Instant Karma by Marissa Meyer. Here's a close-up of this cover. So, Prince, what do you think of this cover? I read this book. It actually took me a little longer. It took me 3 days to read this book, and I could not wait to tell you guys all about my thoughts on Instant Karma. Yes, the title is what captured my eye, and the main character, Prudence, is obsessed with red lips, which is why I'm rocking my red lips today. So, Prince, are you ready to start talking about Instant Karma? Well, let's go. So, Instant Karma, what is this book about? I first saw this book at Books A Million. Yes, it was the cover that caught my attention. I think it's adorable, and I could not wait to read it. It's a YA romance book, and this book centers around the character of Prudence Daniels, and her entire family is obsessed with the Beatles. They even own their own record store. How awesome is that? So this is why Prince decided to rock out to AC/DC today. So while Prince is sitting right here chilling like a villain, I'm going to keep talking to you guys about Instant Karma. So, Prudence, yes, her family, again, is obsessed with the Beatles, and she goes to school, and it is coming up to, like, summer break, and she has a horrible lab partner, Quint Erikson, and she cannot stand Quint. They are partners. They have been lab partners throughout the entire year with Mr. Chavez, and this is, like, her final project, and she specifically told Quint to arrive on time, but he doesn't. So they get their project back and they don't do as well as they hope, and Prue is like dead set on getting him to redo this project with her. Now, he does not agree. He does like, hey, I'm good with, like, I think they got like a B and a C, and he's like, I'm good with that, so I'm not spending my entire summer with you. But Prue is very stubborn, and she decides that she's not going to give up. What Prue does is she decides she's going to basically do it on her own, exactly what Mr. Chavez told her not to do, that her and Quint have to do this project together in order to raise their grade. But since he won't agree, she's like, I'm going to do it. So she finally decides to read part of the report that Quint was in charge of, and she finds out reluctantly that he did a really good job. Now, there were some spelling mistakes, but she thinks overall he did a good job, but she would never admit that. So she decides in the report there is a mention of this like animal rescue, and she decides she's going to go talk to Rosa. Well, little does she later find out that Rosa is actually Quint's mom. And so she shows up there trying to get information, and she kind of gets herself involved where she volunteers at this animal rescue, and it smells like a dead fish, and this is like the last thing she wants to do. But she decides when Quint says, hey, I don't think you're going to last, that she is going to make this work. Along the road, Prue develops, I guess, like this, like, almost, like, supernatural power, like, karma. Basically, if she sees, like, anybody doing something that's, like, not very good, like, she sees somebody, for example, spray painting a billboard, she, like, it gets her, like, really, like, angry, and she's like, you know, they shouldn't be doing that. Well, karma strikes them, so either they fall, or, like, they trip, or, like, something happens to them. So she kind of likes this, like, supernatural power, but it never works with Quint. Like, she gets, like, really angry at him, and nothing ever happens, like, bad to him. Instead, the opposite happens. He'll end up finding money, or like something good happens, and she like that really irritates her. So Quint and Prue have this like love-hate relationship where like they like banter a lot, they don't really get along, but as the reader, like, we get to see like the real reason they do this is because like as they spend more time together, you can see, like, they have, like, crushes on each other. As the summer goes on, Prue continues to volunteer at the Animal Rescue Center, and she finds she really enjoys it, and she actually decides that she is going to be in charge of helping them raise money because they haven't raised a lot of money, and they are in need of having funds in order to help these sea animals that they are rescuing. So along the way, like Prue and Quint, they spend more time together, they get closer, and this is like how her summer goes, is like doing different volunteer things. Now her first volunteer, they do like a beach cleanup at the beach to help raise awareness, and along the way there is an animal that they end up having to rescue on the beach. So that serves as like really good publicity, and Prue is like, oh my gosh, we're gonna raise so much money because look how many people came. But they find out that they didn't even hit any of their goals or anything like that. So Prue's really disappointed, but she's not going to give up because Prue doesn't give up on anything. She decides that she is going to throw this huge gala for the rescue center, and she is like, we are going to hit all of our goals. She cannot wait to throw this. Meanwhile, her and Quint spend more time together, and as a relationship kind of starts to happen, we get thrown this huge snowball effect where money goes missing and Prue is blamed for it. Did Prue steal the money? Because her family does need money, but is that something Prue would do? Like, to me, it was obvious she wouldn't. So this kind of becomes the mystery, kind of like a whodunit kind of thrown into the plot line. So I really did enjoy that aspect of the book. Now, I don't want to give too much away, but overall, Instant Karma, I really did enjoy. I'm going to have to say a 4 out of 5. There were a few grammar mistakes in this book that I found, and I did think it was a little long. It almost reaches 400 pages, and I really did enjoy the plotline of these characters. I really enjoyed the animal rescue. I really enjoyed like the backdrop of them, and I did enjoy their dialogue, but I felt like it could have been cut down a little. So I'm going to have to say this book was a little long for me, even though I did enjoy it, and that's why I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5, because I really did enjoy the characters, the setting, and everything like that, but I did think it could have been condensed. There were some chapters which I thought were like a little long. So that is why I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. If you guys have read this book, be sure to comment below and let me know. I'd love to hear more about it. If you guys love YA romance books, what YA romance books are you guys reading? I'd love to hear more from that. So that is my overall review of Instant Karma. Again, I love the cover. I love the title. And I had so many guys writing and asking about this book. And of course, we're going to do today's Q&A, but we're going to have help from Prince. So let's get him back in here and let's start answering you guys' questions. So we have Prince back, and he was over there crying like, hey, get me back in this video. So we got his AC/DC sweatshirt and everything, and he's ready to do today's Q&A. Are you ready? Are you ready, Prince? Yes, I'm ready. So do you want your hoodie on? Let's see if he'll let us. No? There we go. There we go. So we are going to do today's Q&A on Instant Karma. I got so many messages from you guys about this book, and I cannot wait to answer the 6 questions that Prince and I picked out. So, first question that we have is Chloe from Instagram. Hey, Chloe, you said, was this your first Marissa Meyer novel? Will you read another? Yes, this was my first Marissa Meyer novel, and now I did read some Goodreads reviews where you guys, this wasn't like your top favorite Marissa book. To me, again, I really did enjoy it. I did think, again, it was a little long, but overall, I really did enjoy it, and yes, I will be reading another Marissa Meyer novel. So, second question that we have, Prince, is Amelia from Twitter. Hey, Amelia. You said on a scale of 1 to 10, how was the YA romance? The YA romance, it wasn't like super heavy on the romance, I would have to say. So it wasn't on me, like it wasn't like a 10. I did enjoy like their dialogue, their interactions. I did think Prue sometimes could get a little annoying, and I did really like Quint though. So he kind of like balanced that out for me. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna have to say like 7. Now, if you guys are thinking like, oh my gosh, this is a super YA romance, it's not. I would have to say it's more like a 4 or 5. We only get like, I believe like only a couple scenes of like their like, I guess like a romance interaction. So romance wise, no, this is not like Emily and like Emily Wimberly and like Austin Stegman broke a book. It's not necessarily like that. But again, like the story, the plot, it was like a good, fun, lighthearted one. So yeah. Next up is Ava from Facebook. You want to read it, Prince? It says, I have read some reviews in which they say the character of Prue is selfish. What are your thoughts? Yes, I could see that. Like, again, this is why I said the book was a little long. Like, she does, in some areas, it does get a little annoying. Like, it's like, oh my gosh. And so, like, I, like, read it a lot faster than I feel like it could have been, like, close-knit. There are some times where she does seem a little selfish or, like, self-absorbed, and I felt like we could have done without some of that. I know the characters have to grow, and they have like their character arcs, but again, I felt like it could have been condensed a little. So I will have to say, in some of that, I do agree. Now, I don't think it would have been as obvious if it would have been cut down a little. Do you like that, Prince? All right, next up is Emma from Instagram. Hey, Emma, you said, do you have a favorite chapter? My favorite chapters were all the scenes in which they were at like the rescue center. I really, really enjoyed the like reading about them rescuing the animals and how they rehabilitate them. I thought that was like really interesting, and it made me actually want to go and volunteer. So that was like my favorite part of this book. Next up, you ready, Prince? Is Asher from Twitter. Hey, Asher, you said, was the plot fast-paced? Did you read it fast? Again, if it would have been more constricted in the plotline, I felt like I could have read it faster. It took me like 3 days because some parts were so draggy that I was like, I couldn't like pick it up as fast as I wanted to. So for me, it wasn't like totally a fast-paced read. I wish it would have been faster. The last like portion of it, I would say went faster for me, but like the middle section, it just kind of seemed to like drag on, and I didn't get through it as fast as I wanted to. Elijah from Facebook. Hey, Elijah, you said, I love the cover. Please tell me it relates to the story. I could see the like similarities. There is a scene like they do ride their bikes where I guess this is where they got the cover idea from. So yes, I would say it has to relate. It's super lighthearted and fun. So again, the cover is lighthearted and fun, and that's why I picked up this novel. So this here is Prince, and he really enjoyed doing this video review for Instant Karma. Be sure to follow me on social media. If you guys have an Instagram, you guys can follow me at HeyitsCarlyRae. If you guys are on Twitter, you guys can follow me at HeyitsCarlyRae1. If you guys are on Tumblr, you guys can follow me at HeyitsCarlyRae. And if you guys are on Facebook, you guys can follow me at HeyitsCarlyRae or join my group, HeyitsCarlyRae's Book Club. If you guys are on Pinterest, you guys can follow me at HeyitsCarlyRae as well. Me and Prince had so much fun reading this book, and we are so excited to be here doing another amazing virtual book review on my channel. Be sure to comment below, tell me all your thoughts if you've read any Marissa Meyer books, if you guys have read Instant Karma, what your favorite parts were, if you guys have a favorite chapter. Be sure to comment. I'd love to hear from you guys. And again, this is Prince in his AC/DC sweatshirt, and we are going out.